our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yes, yes, and yes. It's Friday. How nice is that? Weekend in New Orleans. Good food, good music, good friends, family. Pretty good down here, even with all the local and statewide dysfunction. That's what I was saying, Drew Brees. The great New Orleans. And on a Friday, it's when we shine. We're about an hour away from where we take off like a rocket ship. Yeah, the Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 stuff, we're not so good at that. But the Friday 5 p.m. till around 8:59 Monday morning, we're champions. Friday night, Saturday night, weekend in New Orleans. Are you kidding? It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 84 degrees out there. We've hit some record high temperatures. Cloudy outside right now, windy. It doesn't look like a chance of rain. I don't know. If you were from out of town and you saw the skies, you'd be like, it's going to rain. But in New Orleans, you head to the hunting blind or the fishing hole, or I'm going to knock out the landscaping or cut the grass or go for a walk. Go play tennis, go play golf. Do whatever you do outside. Walk the dog. Because I don't know if it's sticking your finger in your mouth and holding your wet finger up to the wind and knowing if it's going to rain or not. I don't see rain out there, and I'm not a meteorologist. I'm just a yatty New Orleanian like you. But I don't know. You tell me. It's cloudy. I think if you were from out of town and didn't experience regular rain, you might be like, it's going to rain. I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong. I mean, there might be a downpour coming down somewhere right now in the metro. I don't think there is. I just think we have that. It's actually kind of nice. Even though it's 84 degrees with the clouds, so you're not just in this, direct sunlight getting torched. And with the wind, it's breezy right now. Breezy and easy. No, it's nice outside. Outdoor dining type of evening, or get outside, knock out some exercise. You got like 3.5 hours right now. Light until about 7:30. Maybe drop some coals, boil some crawfish tonight. Get outside in the backyard. It's nice. It's going to be nice tonight. Tomorrow, rinse and repeat what we've been dealing with the last few days. I don't know if you want to say dealing with. 75 to 85, I don't think's dealing with. Anyway, tomorrow, a rinse and repeat of the last few days. Sunday, rain expected. Then some temperatures dropping. I'll take it. Could see mid to high 40s on the North Shore by Monday or Tuesday. 50s and 60s for sure. And then the important part of the week, because this Thursday, 6 days away, French Quarter Fest. It looks like Wednesday through next Sunday, 60s and 70s. French Quarter Fest, 6 days away, and it looks like mid-70s to maybe approaching 77 degrees, 78 degrees every single day for French Quarter Fest. Sunny, no chance of rain. That's the 6-day out forecast. So it could be a record French Quarter Fest with those kind of conditions. Temperatures in the 70s every day and sunny. Yeah, French Quarter Fest this Thursday. The following Thursday on the West Bank, the Zurich Classic, the annual PGA Tour stop. That's a big one. Rory McIlroy coming back, one of the world's best golfers, most known golfers. Just had a PGA Tour win. No, he's coming back to defend his title. That's a week from this Thursday, round 1 of 4 at the Zurich Classic. Sometimes the Zurich Classic falls on the first weekend of Jazz Fest, which is fine. The Zurich Classic folks don't mind it at all. They seem to think they get some spillover folks that are like, you know what, we're going to go to 3 days of Jazz Fest and go to a day at the Zurich too. And they get that kind of person. They get a boost. And when they're a standalone, they do great as well. There's no downside either way. This year, it's sort of a standalone weekend where Jazz Fest is a week later. Sometimes they overlap. So if you've never experienced the Zurich Classic, I mean, the PGA golf part, you can almost act as like it's an incidental. You get to be outside, you're walking around. It's, I don't want to say a festival atmosphere on the golf course. It's a sporting event. But folks, it's New Orleans. Folks are mingling around. And then after the action's over, 5:30 or so, 6 o'clock, the bands crank up. And throughout the golf tournament, there's different venues like the Champions Club with about 6 or 8 great New Orleans restaurants serving a dish or two. Acme has a big tent surrounding like 2 or 3 greens, 2 or 3 tee boxes. you're jacked up on like a staging type thing, off the ground. No, the Acme tent's nice. The Champions Club's nice. The 19th hole is nice. No, the Zurich Classic, the Four Kids Foundation, the PGA Tour stop here in New Orleans changed how the PGA Tour does business all around for every tournament. Enhanced food and music after and different venues on the course. Much different than the old standard, kind of stamped out PGA Tour event going from city to city to city each week. So that's something you should check out if you just like New Orleans stuff, food and walking around outside and good weather, hopefully, and getting a chance to maybe check out some PGA pros, and then good food and music and drinks and all that. And it's fairly inexpensive. And all the proceeds, it's a nonprofit. All the proceeds go to the Four Kids Foundation. I mean, it used to be like $1 million a year they give to kids charities in the metro. Now it's up to like 2 or 3 million annually that they give to kids charities in Metro New Orleans, Baton Rouge. So it's big for kids. It's for a nonprofit. It's for a good cause. It's in between French Quarter Fest and Jazz Fest weekend, sitting there by itself. So check out the Zurich Classic, which is a week from this Thursday. French Quarter Fest this Thursday. Next Thursday after that, it's Zurich Classic. And then the next 2 Thursdays after that, weekend 1 and weekend 2 of Jazz Festival 2025, respectively. 8 days of Jazz Fest, 4 days of French Quarter Fest, 4 days of Zurich Classic, all over the next 4 weeks. Wow. New Orleans doing it right. I just hope this kind of 60s and 70s thing we're getting next week, I hope that we can stretch that out, because we know what's coming, the inevitable. We're heading towards the end of the non-summer season, 6 months of that, and we're about to enter the summer season, 6 months of that. Heat and humidity. Ouch. And historic decision. I think you can say a historic or an. It's, a for what, when a consonant, or an when it's a vowel, but an H sounds like a vowel. So I think an historic is okay. A person, an apple. But H is not a vowel. So I'm going to go with an because it sounds like a vowel. And historic decision, Chevron ordered to pay $740 million, $750 million to Plaquemine Parish. That'll go towards rebuilding the coast. Chevron, Texaco, negligent for helping to accelerate land loss in Plaquemine Parish. This is historic in a lot of ways because there are dozens of other lawsuits like this all across the state where oil and gas pipelines, canals, infrastructure still there, never filling in the canals, never removing platforms and things of that nature. So no, this is very historic because it might cause these other oil and gas companies that are being sued to settle. What I never understood is how the state of Louisiana, how some leader, and that's probably half the problem, didn't have some leader that could get with the oil and gas companies and be like, guys, couple of things, this, you've helped accelerate land loss. You never, fix the problem. Port Fourchon and existing infrastructure already in Louisiana. It's in your best interest to preserve the coast. So let's figure out a plan where it doesn't affect your bottom line or stock price. As a matter of fact, if you get some good marketing, You guys can spin it that you're rebuilding Louisiana's coastline and you care.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. I'm looking at the show sheet right here. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Fletcher Mackel from WDSU Channel 6 Sports joins us. He's the sports director at the NBC affiliate in New Orleans. Mr. Mackel, thanks so much for joining us.
Close enough. It's all good.
Oh, boy. Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah, people call him. Yeah, of course.
Mackel?
Yeah, Mackel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know how my name's spelled, so I get it all the time. One time I'm getting a driver's license, the old Troop B over there, like Vets in West End, and the lady's like, Corey Johnson. And I walk up, I'm like, how'd you come up with that? And she just looks like, she's like, that's Corey. And I'm like, you're 1 out of 1,000 that's done that. The first time in my life. That was about 15 years ago. I was like, wow, I'd tip her $5 or something. I was like, amazing. Got my name right.
Oh, nice, yeah.
What you up to, man?
Not a lot. Trying to just relax today. A little off day today. Taking it easy. Nothing too crazy.
You didn't get on the electric bike?
No, I rode it last week and forgot to charge it. So it's low on battery power right now. So, yeah, not great.
No, I hear you. Hey, you dine anywhere decent in the last week or so since we last chit-chatted?
No, to be honest with you. So, no, I haven't. I've kind of been laying low, to be honest with you. I haven't done any. I know sometimes I like to throw places out to give me the opportunity to do that, but I haven't. I hate to say this. I've been kind of low key, ho hum.
Fletch, I mentioned this like about a month ago, and I don't know. So I don't know if I was pseudo embarrassed or just sort of like, I just felt like it's not right almost, but I said the hell with it. It's just how it is. For me, I'm not kidding you, like top 15, top 20 restaurant in the city for me is Houston's on St. Charles Avenue. And you know, that's like it's a chain that's just really good. But I mean, you know, it's sort of like it's almost like saying you like Subway, you know, and you live in New Orleans. It's like, it's almost sacrilege. I don't know.
True. So, yeah. So,
I did go to, and I mentioned this one before. We mentioned Pat Gallagher. I went again this week, met a buddy for lunch. He's like, you want to meet at Gallagher's? And I tooled across the causeway and went in there for lunch.
Yeah, you keep telling me about it. I got to make the little trek across the causeway on Lake Pontchartrain to go check it out. But hopefully in the next few weeks, before the Zurich and the Saints draft, I'll have some free time. So hopefully in the next few weeks.
Your boy Portnoy, you know, from Barstool Sports.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny, Fletch. Like, I know he's worth like north of 100 million, but you see him. I don't follow the sports part of it at all. I catch like a pizza review every now and then, and really only the local ones, you know. But I know who he is, obviously, not like you. You're in the sports business. So anyway, you know, I was catching some pizza review, and then he started doing some political rant on Twitter. And I realized he's in the backyard of his house. And it's just because, you know, he's got the beard. He's got a baseball cap on backwards sometimes. He's wearing just like a T-shirt, shorts. He kind of looks a little disheveled. You almost think he's sort of like a college guy, just sort of enhanced a little bit. So even though my brain knew he's worth north of 100 million, when I see him doing this political rant in the backyard and I see this white stucco 2-story house with like 20 by 20 foot glass windows and palm trees, and it's obviously like a multi-million-dollar spread, big backyard, I'm like, oh yeah, he's worth 100 million. It just sort of slapped me in the face seeing the house. Isn't it amazing, these kind of cats? I mean, more power to them, but the amount of money and out of nowhere in a lot of cases. I mean, this is the last, you know, decade plus.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Do you follow these guys, Fletch? Like, are there some that you're getting credible information from?
Some, yeah, sometimes, but I don't know how to answer that. Yeah.
I guess you might find something out there and you're like, all right, that's a bomb. Let me go verify it from more legitimate sources.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, everybody throws everything out there now, and it's just kind of like deciphering who it is important. I mean, I think that's like what we do with anything like that we get. You know what I mean? I remember like at the dawning of like Facebook and social media, I felt like people's parents were getting trapped in these, like, did you see that? It's like, do you know where that came from? Like, that is total propaganda to make you believe that nonsense.
Fletcher Mackel's with us, Fridays with Fletch. What's the big story, Fletch? I saw Colorado's pro day. I guess
I watched a lot of it.
How do you not play Travis Hunter both wide receiver and defensive back? If I'm an NFL team, I'm like, whatever you want to do and however many reps you want, and I would just monitor it like you would a major league pitcher. And when the arm gets fatigued, when it looks like, okay, we're going to pull back on either defense or offense. Maybe you have more strength on offense for that particular team. Maybe you like him playing on your team on defense more, whatever. I mean, what do you do with the Travis Hunter?
Yeah, I think Travis Hunter's one of those guys that you can play everywhere, do everything with. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he's one of those guys that you're crazy if you don't utilize him as look, Deion's his coach. Deion did a little bit of everything.
Yep.
I mean, Deion was an electric defensive back, a great returner. I don't know if Hunter's going to be a returner, but I certainly think and again, I'm curious to see what teams look at him as. I think they look at him as a potential DB1 lockdown corner that they can use in packages at wide receiver. But do they look at him as a wide receiver that they can utilize as a nickel or kind of like in a sub package defense, so to say. So I'm curious as to what everybody looks at him as, but I certainly think he's kind of that generational talent that can do a little bit of everything.
I mean, this guy was what? He was the Biletnikoff winner for best wide receiver. He won the Benderek for best defensive player in college, right? Plus the Heisman. He's like the best DB. He's the best wide receiver. He's the best player. I mean, there's got to be a consensus, Fletch, as far as what the clear majority of NFL teams feel he's better at corner or wide receiver. There's got to be that. But looking at his college stats, I mean, he took like an equal number of defensive snaps as offensive snaps, a bunch of special team snaps. But I would imagine NFL people feel he's a better this than that, right? Something?
I guess that's what I mean. I don't know. Like, I guess some teams may say we see a lockdown corner that you can put on an island and a guy who we can run out there is our third or fourth receiver that can be a weapon on offense. I'm sure there's people that look at him as, no way, receiver's more valuable. He's a legit number one receiver that we can also put out there in defensive sub packages is our third or fourth defensive back in a nickel package. And so, again, I that's the curious thing, but I certainly think it would be an injustice for him not to do both.
But at the NFL level, there's no way he starts at corner and starts at wide receiver?
I guess you do that too. But I do wonder the toll that would take on someone. That's the only thing I wonder is, and look, that's what he did, at Colorado. And maybe he can do it. Maybe I'm shorting him. Maybe he absolutely can do that, and it's going to be easy for him. But again, that seems like a daunting task with the physicality and the nature of, look, Deion was talking about that today, about why can't he? Like, why sell him short? He goes, in college, there's these up-tempo offenses that go, go, go. Well, most NFL teams don't play that way. So he goes, he'll have a breather where he's not gassed, finishing an offensive drive and having to go play in the secondary. So maybe he can do both. Hey, he's our starting corner, and guess what? He flips right to offense, and he's wide receiver 1 or 2.
The Saints have like 5 or 6 needs. I could see him going in multiple directions. What do you expect them to do with their first round pick in the NFL draft?
So, like everybody, I have strong opinions, and you're right. That's the one thing I will agree with everybody on is they need an infusion of young talent because they've swung and missed a lot in the first round. They've done a great job in those value rounds 2 through 5, finding a ton of solid NFL players. But they've swung and missed on the Marcus Davenports of the world and, the Peyton Turners of the world. And the jury is still out, but trending the wrong way on Trevor Penning. Is Chris Olave going to be some kind of stud? We don't know. And so, again, I think I could justify an offensive lineman at 9, a defensive player in the front 7, maybe like a hybrid outside linebacker in a new 3-4 defense that they're going to run. I could say defensive back. Their top 2 defensive backs the last few years were Paulson Adebo and Marshawn Lattimore. One's gone via trade, one's gone via free agency. So I certainly think that's a need position. Tight end, I love Foster Moreau and everything about him, but that was a devastating knee. Yep. A devastating knee injury, and Taysom Hill suffered a devastating knee injury. So I could see tight end at 9. That kid Ty Warren out of Penn State. Look, if Genti, the running back, got there, I could say Alvin Kamara's getting along in the 2.
No, that would be an incredible pick. Hey, Fletch, we're running out of time. We'll talk some Pels as they wind down the season next week and more. Have a good weekend.
All right, Corey.
That's Fletcher Mackel, Channel 6, WDSU Sports. Corey Johnson with you on a Fantasy Friday. 84 degrees out there. But some good news. A cool front coming in after the rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Milwaukee Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Real New Orleans musicians on that Total Maintenance commercial. Got it from Rebirth, Bonorama, a Jeff Epstein production. He's the guy you hear and all the music, the Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Very professionally done, Lucas and the crew with that commercial. Total Maintenance does keep you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. If you need heat help next week when that cold rolls back in, you'll be running heat. I'll be running heat next Monday and Tuesday when it's 50s and 60s. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, Total Maintenance, TM-AC.com. Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel just joining us. Another edition of that fun. Before that, discussing this historic Chevron payment or verdict, I should say. Chevron's ordered to pay about $750 million, $740 million to Plaquemine Parish for helping to accelerate land loss. The money goes to rebuilding part of Plaquemine's coast. Obviously, Chevron's going to appeal, but if it stays locally, Chevron was trying to get it to federal court. If it stays locally, this was a Plaquemine Parish court. It was Plaquemine Parish residents on the jury. They're going to probably lose again. I mean, this is huge. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens, it might be north of 100 coastal lawsuits against oil and gas companies. I think Plaquemines has like 20 or so themselves. It could force these oil and gas companies to the table to settle and make a payment, and all this money can be put into an account, and it could carry Louisiana rebuilding its coast for decades and decades. One lawsuit, $740 million. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of others. And I'm sure there's some obvious, more blatant land loss situations where the jury's going to award north of $1 billion. So this could be like the $50 billion master plan to rebuild the coast. It could be like part 2 of that. Now, going into a break before Fletcher joined us, I never understood how some leader or leaders in Louisiana never got with the oil and gas companies, sat at the table and said, it's in the best interest of all of us. I mean, we could have these lawsuit things, or you guys are still here drilling. A lot of your infrastructure's here. Port Fourchon needs to be protected. Let's rebuild Louisiana's coast. Keep it all intact. Oil and gas companies could spin it like we care. They could marketing and, showing people with the oil and gas logo on their hard hat or shirt, planting cypress trees and diversion projects and dredging and moving, sediment to different places, barrier islands, big old earth movers, bulldozers and the like, pushing sand, creating barrier islands. We care. We're Exxon. We give a what. We're Chevron. That would be great marketing. Like I'm sure there's a way where somebody who does number crunching on marketing, like, what a Super Bowl means to New Orleans, marketing wise, the same could be done for this. Hey, guys, the amount of money you're paying out, I know Chevron, you're like $740 million. The amount of money you're paying out, you're getting much more in return with the positive marketing and vibe of this rebuilding Louisiana's coast. I mean, all the oil and gas companies could have been involved. It just seems like a no-brainer where everybody wins spinning it that way. But I don't know. I guess that never happened. There wasn't enough leadership, inertia to get it moving. I have no clue. But it seems like that would have been the route to take a while back. This is historic. But, there's a yin and yang to everything. It's like Trump's tariffs. We're waiting for the yang or the yin, whatever the positive is. No, this looks great, and a bunch of lawsuits settled looks great. And Corey just mentioned billions of dollars, tens of billions, could be north of $50 billion, all to restore Louisiana's coast. But then do the oil and gas companies sort of, say, Louisiana, don't want to do business there. Litigious state, sued the hell out of us or forced us to the table to settle. We're out of there. Do they look at other places and avoid us, or they can't avoid us? That's a little over my pay grade as far as how that would go down with the oil and gas companies. Can they ignore and abandon Louisiana because of this type of thing? Hey, here's your settlement money. We're done. We've been here 80 years. Thought we were partners. We're done. Oklahoma loves us. North Dakota will go do shale. We'll frack up there. Anyway, it is historic. We'll see where it goes. This thing's just starting. Chevron's going to appeal. Are some other lawsuits going to be settled so they don't have to go to court? There's going to be legal experts commenting on all of this. Now, I pride myself where when a story drops like in my lap during the program, and I've got my show sheet with all the info for today's show, did my research, have my show lined up, all of that. Could be hours of work, whatever. No, I like that on the fly. I can flip to whatever the breaking story is and give some meaningful information at that very moment from past knowledge, past experience, all that kind of stuff. But as far as this, like how it will affect the oil and gas companies, their investments in Louisiana, will this scare some off? I don't know the answer to that. That's just something that's been talked about, that's been mentioned. Hell, these oil and gas companies tried to get with the legislature over the past few sessions where Louisiana would pass legislation where they can't sue the oil and gas companies, no parish, the state, no municipality in Louisiana for past damages. Now, I've said this in the past, like post-Katrina, the insurance money, the FEMA money that New Orleans, Louisiana, South Louisiana got was kind of crazy, just a little out of control. I think that there's no doubt that the rebuilding our coast, it's billions and billions of dollars. The money that to do it is astronomical. And then you look at the money and the profits that these oil and gas companies are creating. And then I talk about the goodwill spin of the marketing. This thing might just even out. Might just even out. Now, I'm hoping that we get our coastline rebuilt. We get Louisiana's coastline stabilized. I guess I'm a little selfish. I'm in the population center of New Orleans. It's ground zero for all of it. But we've got $14 billion of levee and flood wall, protection in the last 20 years helping me. Now, I'm talking about the rest of South Louisiana, outside of Metro New Orleans. They need the help. They need to be rebuilt. Something that's just sort of, it's sad, but you see what the Arab Emirates are doing with that. You can Google it. The Palm, the World, they have these islands built out in the ocean, like they've gone off the land. They've got desert everywhere. But they're like, wow, we've got endless money and we could build out in the ocean. Some of the dredges used to build these massive islands, man-made, out in the ocean off the coast, come from Louisiana. I mean, if Louisiana were the Arab Emirates, the United States was thinking like that, we would basically have a ring of barrier islands where you could almost drive south of Lake Charles, south of Cameron Parish, all the way around Louisiana to the Chandeliers, south of like Biloxi, Mississippi, where you could almost continuously drive from a chain of barrier islands going all the way around Louisiana, like it essentially used to be. Like it used to be. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday afternoon. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're wrong. The stock market getting crushed again today worldwide. I was eating lunch with a buddy today who has a nice chunk of money invested in the stock market. He's done well for himself. He's a little older than me. He's retired. When Trump got elected, the stock market took off those first few days. He was a Trump guy, very, very supportive of Trump, and was telling me, man, I've made a lot of money the last few days. It's not like bragging. We're friends. It's between us. And today at lunch, he's like, man, I've taken a hit the last few days. Still a Trump guy. Wasn't as enamored. No, because it's a financial hit. No, there's no telling how this thing's going to work out. No telling. It's sort of like the oil and gas thing. Are the oil and gas companies going to help fix the coast? They're going to settle and they're going to stick around, or they're going to be like, screw you guys and leave? Is this tariff thing going to work? Is Trump he's doing it just to negotiate? He's going to pull it all back. Stock market's going to rebound quickly when he does that. Is he holding, standing pat, sticking to his guns, going to ride this thing out? Right now, doesn't look really good. And wouldn't the goal to be no tariffs? Like, ideally, the least amount of tariffs possible, not the most. And it's a world economy. Don't we want to be part of that, the leader of that, and not this isolationist type thing? Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. Coming right back.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Total Maintenance King. TM-AC.com. No cool spots. TM-AC.com. No cool spots.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Did I mention it's Friday? Yeah, got a good weekend in front of us. A cause for the Hogs for the cause. Excuse me. Cause for the Hogs. Hogs for the cause. I'm turning into Buddy D. Buddy D was, it was Governor Foster and Stephen Perry, who's been running, New Orleans and Company for like the last couple of decades until a few years ago, was Governor Foster's chief of staff. And Buddy D said, let's go to Stephen Perry, Governor Foster's chief of chaff. And I was like, that's beyond dyslexic. That's like not just flipping letters around in a word. That's like grabbing the last word in the sentence's first few letters and moving it to the first few letters of the first word. The Steve of chaff. Well, Corey saying cause for the Hogs is pretty damn close. Thank you, Buddy D. Let's go live to Saints training camp. Kenny Wilkerson standing by. Kenny, what's going on? Buddy, actually, a Acadian ambulance helicopter just landed. Jim Moore apparently has had some type of health situation. Hang on, Kenny. Chuck Sipple from the goal sheet just dialed in. He says the Cleveland versus Detroit spread moved from 4.5 to 5. All right, that's my Buddy D imitation. Hogs for the cause going on Franklin at Lakeshore Drive, essentially. The backside of the UNO campus. Franklin at the lake. Today, tomorrow. Some of the best barbecue anywhere. Huh? Hogs for the cause. Today and tomorrow. Lakefront, UNO. Yeah, you right. I like good barbecue. We were like nothing in New Orleans like 30 years ago. Then the joint popped up in Bywater. And one could argue the joint was the first like non-chain sort of standalone real barbecue place for New Orleans. And I know there were some others, but that was sort of, eclectic, funky, doing it a little different. And pretty good. And then we got Fry popped up over there by the Winn-Dixie on Carrollton off Bienville, which I believe they just shut down. After about a decade, 15-year run, they called it a day. They're no longer open. They're no longer open. Down the block on Carrollton, Blue Oak got their lease renewed. They were going to move. They're staying where they are. They're rolling. Up on Rampart at the Pontchartrain Expressway, like Cali Open Rampart by the St. John the Baptist Church, that church on the Pontchartrain Expressway with the big golden steeple. Right down there, a Central City barbecue with the burnt tips. Some pretty good barbecue. There's a few others. There's a few that tried to pop up and have come and gone. But no, we were like barbecue deficient, like did not exist in New Orleans. And we could probably use a handful more of some high-quality barbecue joints. I think the ones that are there, are pretty successful. Although I just mentioned Fry closed. Maybe we're just not a barbecue city. Maybe we're just not a barbecue city. And so many places are, but the places that are lack any other type of cuisine, like that's native to them. We've got a few dozen types of cuisine native to New Orleans. We're lucky, So places like, I guess, Houston and Dallas or Austin or Memphis or some places like in South Carolina, Kentucky, Arkansas, you're going to have these like barbecue, joints, places that serve barbecue and they're really good. But no, we had no good barbecue now, and now we've got some pretty good barbecue. Hogs for the Cause going on tomorrow, out by the UNO Lakefront Arena. I'll tell you some things that we do better than anyone in the world. First off, who's got the best fried chicken in the world? It isn't like Kentucky or Tennessee. Have you been to Laurel, Mississippi and been to whatever? This is like one place. New Orleans has about, I don't know, what would you say, 25, 30 places that serve some damn good fried chicken? We are the fried chicken capital of the world. It is a southern thing. New Orleans is a southern city. Atlanta doesn't have that many, fried chicken joints like we do. Atlanta doesn't have regular restaurants that serve high quality fried chicken like we do. So we're the kings of fried chicken. It's never some small town because they just don't have the sheer numbers. You want to know who might be number 2 to New Orleans in the world in fried chicken? Might be like New York. New York, just by sheer numbers, population, so many places that are doing it. Southerners that have moved up there and doing it right. Because you can't get away with crap long-term like in New Orleans in a city like New York. They might be number 2, but we're clearly, I don't know who number 2 is. They're so far back, but there's no argument. Fried chicken capital of the world's New Orleans. And it's not even close. Dozens and dozens and dozens of places, some that are fried chicken joints, some of them that are restaurants that serve killer fried chicken like Mr. Ed's or Galatoire's. High-end Galatoire's has some of the best fried chicken in the world. So no, we do that really well. We're one of the best pizza cities in America, not one of the worst. We're one of the best. We've got dozens and dozens of really good pizza places. Z's on Barone, out in the Bywater. What is it? Pizza Delicious. There's just too many to name. The place my buddy took me to on the West Bank at Algiers Point. Napolitano, what is it? Nighthawk Napolitano, right there by the old ferry launch. Killer pizza. Yeah. And Prime Steakhouses, another good one. What's that, Blue Boy? You'd like a slice of pepperoni? But now that I said Prime Steakhouse, you'd like a New York strip. Yeah, I bet you would. Buddy, we're going to go for a walk in a little while, and it's the weekend. Lots of petting, lots of friendliness going on, lots of walking and running around. You ready, buddy? We got the 5 o'clock powwow coming next. Don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Yep.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.
Buddy.
Also on YouTube.
Easy.
On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. F-R-I-D-A-Y. Lori's going to spell some things today. Well, maybe just Friday. Maybe Latrim. L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Drew Brees is right. Thank you, number 9, for that introduction. It is indeed New Orleans. The 5 o'clock whistle is a-blowing. Toot, toot. Little after 5 p.m. on a Fantasy Friday. We put the spotlight on this very time because I think a lot of us just kind of, we're rolling along. It's Friday. Yeah, we don't even think about it. I like stopping for a minute. Halt. Stop. Smell the roses. Pause for a moment. It's a little after 5 on Friday. 100% of your weekend, of your work week, I should say, is in the books. And yeah, 100% of your weekend is in front of you. Let's celebrate. We do it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle, which on a Friday, a little after 5 o'clock, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Outdoor dining right now at Katie's. Hey, I said it last hour. It's not going to rain, right? We're native New Orleanians, or we're official New Orleanians. We've been here a while. We see clouds and wind blowing like this. You know if torrential showers are coming or not. And I could be dead wrong. It could be raining right now somewhere in the metro. I don't think it is. I don't think we're getting rain right now. We're not getting it in a little while. I think it's just going to be this cloudy, windy gimmick going. I might get some little speck of rain that hits your windshield for a second, but nothing that's going to keep you from being outside. No, we kind of just know it. I said last hour, you stick your finger in your mouth, hold it up to the wind. I don't know what it is, but we know in New Orleans when it's going to rain or not some of the time. And right now, that doesn't look like rain to me. That just looks like lots of clouds rolling in and windy. I think someone from out of town that doesn't live in an area like this, that doesn't experience 60 inches of rain every year, year in, year out, they might think it's going to rain. Anyway, me, I'm probably going to eat outside somewhere tonight. I might do some grilling at home. I might, head to a restaurant and dine outside. Katie's has outdoor dining, and it's Friday, the weekend. Scott Craig always brings in some goodies for the weekend. And when I say goodies, like it might be speckled trout or flounder or snapper or soft shell crabs. You never know. Whatever is fresh, the best available. Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets. Big portions, too. Great for sharing. Great cocktails. Iberville, corner Telemachus. They're a few blocks behind Angelo Bricato's ice cream joint on Carrollton. Iberville, Telemachus, in between Bienville and Canal Street, in between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Yeah, why don't you do some outdoor dining tonight at Katie's? 5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Katie's on this Fantasy Friday. I said 84 degrees, cloudy, windy. Tomorrow, a rinse and repeat of the last few days. Then Sunday, rain. And Monday and Tuesday, 50s and 60s. Yeah, you're right. We need that. North Shore could have mid to high 40s on Monday or Tuesday. Next Wednesday through next Sunday, this is important because in 6 days, next Thursday, French Quarter Fest 2025. Going or not, you want it to be successful. You want the weather to be good. Any of you folks that are like sitting at home, like that don't plan on going and it rains and you're happy about that, seek medical attention. Seriously. Something wrong with you, like wishing other folks, don't have a good time, or secretly you're happy that it rained during French Quarter Fest or something? That's weird. Strange waste of time behavior. Like, not hate. Be positive, not negative. So no, it looks like mid-70s every day, the high. So not hot, and sunny every day. So French Quarter Fest could have, it could be a record year. Right now, 6 days out, next Thursday through next Sunday, 70s all day long and sunny and no rain. Keep your fingers crossed that continues to be the forecast. And I'm very selfish. I'd like it to be the forecast for the next 4 weeks. Because next week is French Quarter Fest. The week after that is Zurich Classic, the annual PGA Tour stop. The week after that, weekend number 1 of Jazz Fest. And the weekend after that, weekend number 2 of Jazz Fest. So, no, I mean, it's probably, if I had to guess, I mean, you're putting, pressure on me. I'd say it'll be hotter for the Zurich. It'll be hotter for Jazz Fest. But you never know. Hopefully this thing stretches out. Look, 50s and 60s Monday and Tuesday next week. So who would have thought we're getting that? And high 40s on the North Shore. That's good stuff. No, do you get folks that like they're not going somewhere, but they're glad it rained and it ruined the fun for everybody else? I just get out of your zone and go to that event. Then if you're sitting on the sofa and you're secretly bummed out you're not going or something, you're happy it got rained out. I don't get people like that. What a terrible, absolutely horrible way to live. Anyway, lots of stuff coming up over the next few weeks. And first things first, next week's French Quarter Fest looks perfect. 70s and sunny. Fantastic. Thursday through Sunday. French Quarter Fest is free. Those 4 days, more folks attend than the 8 days of Jazz Fest. Just different festivals. French Quarter Fest is strictly local music, New Orleans and Louisiana music only. There are no artists from out of state. None. Zero. All the food, it's not really festival food or people that might own restaurants or catering or in the food business and they do festival food like, say, at Jazz Fest. It's sort of New Orleans, South Louisiana festival food. It ain't corn dogs. We know what it is. But it's French Quarter Fest is New Orleans high-end restaurants serving a dish or two way below the cost of what it would be at their restaurant. What the expense, what the price would be at their restaurant. Everything at French Quarter Fest is like $6, $8, $10, $12. There might be something we're in 2025, might be something that's like $14, but it's maybe soft shell crab or something like that. You're going to still say it's a bargain. No, there's all kind of high-end restaurants serving a dish or two. It might be like an appetizer from the restaurant, might be an entree. It might be something that's not on their menu. Dickie Brennan, this is pretty genius, especially for a festival. You got to hand it to him. I think they do 2 po' boys. One is the debris po' boy, roast beef debris po' boy, and the other is, boy, what is it? Like crawfish or something like that? One is debris, and I forget what the other one is. But both are like a sloppy roast beef. So instead of, the regular Leidenheimer bread, sliced up, what they do, they cut off the end. We used to call it the end, or when I was a kid in New Orleans, we called it the nose, the end of the bread. They just cut the loaf. They hollow out, take all the inside out of the end, and it's like 8 inches long of bread with the end, the nose, and then they just ladle in the debris style roast beef, or I forget the other one, like crawfish or something. And you're kind of just eating the thing down towards the end, towards the nose. You just hold it upright like I would this water bottle, and you're just eating down on the thing towards your hand. And there's really no way for the juices and debris or any of that to spill out. I mean, it's like a 5-napkin roast beef that doesn't need a napkin until the very end. Maybe just to wipe your mouth. Everything's contained in the bread. It's pretty genius. I'm shocked that some local po' boy shops don't do that for like a gimmick. Like we just do it differently. You know, it's still Leidenheimer bread. It's still fried shrimp or fried oysters or roast beef, but we hollow out like the tube of bread with the end and ladle it in there. I don't know. That seemed like that would be like a good gimmick. You could serve it a little different way. I got no problem with it. It's Leidenheimer French bread and killer roast beef. So I don't care if it's, in like tube shape or in 2 slices of bread. Anyway, French Quarter Fest next Thursday. Lots of great restaurants there. Hey, I got a good restaurant for you. Lebanon's Cafe. Open 11 a.m. every day, 7 days a week, and they roll straight through. They're open right now till 9:30 every night. Sunday night till 9:30. Tuesday night till 9:30. Lamb chop, shish kebab. Yeah, shish kebab, shrimp, beef, chicken, lamb. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. I was talking about outdoor dining earlier when we started the 5 o'clock powwow. Outdoor dining tonight at Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Oh, boy. How is New Orleans going to handle French Quarter Fest this Thursday with it being all cashless? No cash. Now, it's free. There's no fences or gates. It's at the French Quarter. 22 stages, 300 plus acts, dozens and dozens and dozens. I think it's 60 plus food or drink venues or spots. But for the first time ever, all of that's cashless. Like, you get in for free, but when you want to buy food or drinks, you have to buy it. You have to pay for it, and cash is not accepted. It's going to be very strange. I don't know what's going to happen. Will vendors literally, if they have an $8 dish and someone has a $10 bill and just take the 10, I don't need change, are they going to say no? Or is it kind of like, hey, we're all cashless, but if you want to take somebody's cash, you can, but we don't want you giving change back because we don't want to slow down the line. I don't know how it's going to work. Are there strict rules, but it's credit card, debit card, or, using your phone. No cash at French Quarter Fest. But, also, like I'm sort of insinuating, cash is king. I can't see a vendor turning down cash. I think they're just going to stuff it in their pocket and give you the dish. Stuff the money in your pocket. Hey, I don't have change. All you got is a 20. Here, we'll give you 2 dishes at $8 each for 16, but I don't have $4 to give you back. You have to bite the bullet. It's a tip, whatever. Anyway, French Quarter Fest cashless for the first time ever. That starts on Thursday. How will New Orleans deal with that? Because that's like moving up pretty quickly. I don't think anybody's got a rotary dial phone in New Orleans anymore. Now, you laugh, but I want to say pre-Katrina, when you would call Sewage and Water Board or Entergy, they'd say, if you have a rotary dial phone, hang on, or, because you couldn't push buttons. So some people had a rotary dial phone in Metro New Orleans 20 plus years ago. Wow. So no, I don't think we have that, or black and white TVs. I guarantee you somebody's still got a tube television somewhere in Metro New Orleans. Dude, this Sony 26-inch was state of the art in its time back in 1985. No, I hear you. Good luck with that. No, we still have a physical newspaper. A lot of folks still have landlines in Metro New Orleans, telephone lines. No, we like, kind of the old stuff. So moving into present day, not, 1983, but going into 2025, cashless French Quarter Fest could be wow, this is crazy. I wonder if Jazz Fest will be the same way. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock. Every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM. We're on Cox Channel 4, statewide. Spectrum Channel 333 television, statewide. We're on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. Every day, it's all brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. home of Lamarck Ford, home of Lamarck Lincoln, and Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. You have a business, you need a commercial truck, van, SUV. That's when you go to Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. If you go to CoreyTalks.com, it has all the info. Radio stations, 4 of them. TV, 2 of them. YouTube, links, all that good stuff. CoreyTalks.com. I'm pretty sure you can put CoreyJohnsonin.com and it'll go to Corey Talks. I think you can even misspell Corey. Corey Johnson, Corey Talks. But just do it the right way. Corey spelled Kaare. Corey Talks.com has all the info. An historic decision today. Chevron ordered to pay $750 million, $740 million plus, to Plaquemines Parish for helping to accelerate land loss in a part of that parish. It's actually Texaco, which Chevron acquired years back. You know, the money goes to rebuilding Louisiana's coast in Plaquemines Parish, $740 million. Now, of course, Chevron's going to appeal, but by this staying in a local, court in Plaquemine, where Chevron wanted to bring it to federal court, where they felt a much better chance of it being thrown out, I don't think, the appeal is going to stick. If there's another trial, it'll be locally, and they'll probably lose that one. What happens next, most likely, is other oil and gas companies that are being sued by parishes, municipalities, the state, whatever, in Louisiana, they may consider stepping up and settling. Like, A, we're already getting sued. B, it looks like there's precedent for it to stay locally and not go federally. C, we don't win locally, probably. D, let's settle. Let's come up with a figure that's probably less money than what we would pay with this thing going to trial. E, we could spin it marketing-wise where we're rebuilding Louisiana's coast. Exxon cares. Chevron cares. BP cares about you. Birds flying, land recreated. This was once open water. Now it's a sanctuary for wildlife and fishing and crabs, shrimp boats, oystermen, all that. So there's a spin where maybe there's an argument with some savvy marketing folks where, guys, we can use this, where this $740 million payment, we're going to make a lot more on the marketing of this. Plus, that's such a minuscule amount when you consider it's a gigantic worldwide monster oil and gas company. I'm not against them. I'm not like, they're evil. I'm just saying they're a monster. And the payments wouldn't be, I'm sure, in one lump sum. It would be over, a decade plus. Historic decision. We'll see what happens. The downside, there's always an up and down, a yin, a yang, in and out, whatever. Will oil and gas companies say, here's the settlement. We're done with Louisiana. We wipe our hands clean. We're moving on. The hell with you guys. Thought we were partners for decades. Thousands of jobs we've created. We've built Louisiana. We're done. Here's your settlement money. We're done. We'll go somewhere else. Or is Louisiana just, hey, we've got so much oil and gas. We've got so much infrastructure. We are a permanent player in the game, and there's no way to abandon us and go somewhere else. Or if you do, there'll be another oil and gas operation that'll fill that void in a second. Anyway, we'll see where this goes. Historic decision, $740+ million bucks. Chevron ordered to pay Plaquemines Parish because of that oil and gas company, actually Texaco, helping to accelerate land loss in the parish. The money will go to coastal restoration in the parish. Stock market getting crushed, cratering. I think the Dow Jones is in officially like a bull market. No, the worldwide markets are tumbling. These tariffs, is it just a Trump game, a ploy? He's going to pull it all back. We've seen already. I mean, forget about liking or hating Trump. Anytime anyone, like him or not, comes in to make dramatic change, there's going to be some things that work, some that don't, some things that they do, and they got to go, we got to pull back on that. That wasn't the right decision. It's like any business. Hey, let's put a table up front. We got that big space there. Hey, man, that space, people liked it. The table's not generating any money. It's actually driving people away. Let's move the table away from the front. Whatever. You're always trying to better things. You're always trying to change things. People don't always like it. Trump's already done some things where they fired a bunch of people and then had to bring back a bunch of people. Things of that nature. So change is painful. I'm not taking up for Trump. I'm not bashing Trump. I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying change, it can be painful and it doesn't always work. And when things aren't working right, you got to change things. It's like Jeff Landry in Louisiana. Got to change things. But is this permanent? Are these tariffs going to be here long term? Are they going to be here just a little while? Is Trump in a week going to pull them all back? Because he could definitely be wishy-washy in that regard and not, think about it for a minute. Monday it's red, orange it's green, Wednesday it's yellow, and just keeps moving. You could say, what is it? On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you said it was these colors, and now it's orange on Thursday? He just keeps rolling. So I don't know what his plan is. I don't think anyone does. Maybe Donald Trump doesn't know. But right now, the stock market and worldwide markets are getting crushed. They're getting crushed. Corey Johnson with you, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you're right. I picked up a new pair of sunglasses at Art and Eyes on Magazine. If you wear prescription glasses or you need a great pair of sunglasses, go to Art and Eyes on Magazine. They're open right now till 7 o'clock. They're open tomorrow. They're open Sunday. Here's the best part. Name brands you've never, ever heard of. The highest quality eyewear from the United States, Japan, Europe. Incredible stuff. When you touch, feel, and see the eyewear, thousands of choices, by the way, at Art and Eyes on Magazine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, eyewear that's as unique as you. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans. If you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The sounds of French Quarter Fest 2025. Well, in a week from now, it'll be day 2. Next Thursday, day 1 of French Quarter Fest. All next weekend, 4 straight days. Lots of great New Orleans restaurants serving goodies for $6, $8, $10, $12. Maybe something's $14, but it's worth it. Might be like soft shell crab. Lots of great New Orleans restaurants. Like I said earlier, just different from Jazz Fest. It's all local music, local statewide, nothing from outside Louisiana. And it's all local New Orleans restaurants, South Louisiana restaurants, all local. And it's free, except for the food and drink. And it's cashless this year. I'm wondering if Jazz Fest is going to be the same way. Yeah, credit cards, debit cards, your phone. That's the only way you can pay for stuff. No cash. Although cash is king, I'm sure people will take cash. I'm not saying bring cash. You bring cash, expect to not eat or drink. Be smart. I'm telling you it's cashless, but I think somebody messing up or, wow, I didn't bring my wallet. I just brought a wad of cash. I don't know if something's $8 and you're giving them $10. I would imagine they'll give you the dish and stuff the $10 in their pocket. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It better be the owners of the restaurant stuffing the money in their pocket. That could be a problem. Historic decision. Chevron's paying Plaquemine Parish, or ordered to pay Plaquemine. They'll appeal the decision. $745+ million, about $750 million, because Texaco, which Chevron acquired 40 years ago, helped accelerate land loss in Plaquemine by not cleaning up after their, oil and gas work, leaving equipment out there, open canals, open pits, all that kind of stuff. Lots of canals, which there was no main canal to get to an area, and that, little spider canals. It was wherever they wanted to go, they just went straight into it. Just canals zigzagging, crisscrossing each other. Saltwater intrusion. Now, I was mentioning last hour, just like how post-Katrina, that it was such like a scam with insurance and FEMA claims and the like. And I just worry about, if the money's actually going to come from these oil and gas companies. There's going to be settlements. The money's going to be used to pay for our coastline getting restored. Is that actually going to happen? $740 million other oil and gas lawsuits, and there are dozens and dozens of them. There's like 20 or 30 in Plaquemine Parish alone. Are they all of a sudden going to settle for hundreds of millions of dollars, even north of $1 billion? We'll see. Because when that $50 billion or whatever it was from BP, when that runs out, we need more money to keep rebuilding our coastline. The stock market getting crushed in America, getting crushed worldwide, the Trump tariffs. We'll see where this goes. Does it force folks to the negotiating table? In a week or two, Trump gets rid of all the tariffs and the stock markets react and everything restabilizes, goes back up. I told you, I went to lunch with a buddy of mine when Trump got elected, when the election came down, when the results were known. He said his stock portfolio took off. The stock market took off the 2 or 3 days after Trump was elected. And now it's the opposite direction with the tariffs worldwide. Supposedly the Dow Jones is already in a bull market. Scary. Hogs for the cause going on right now out at the lakefront, right as we speak. And tomorrow, lots of folks barbecuing, lots of great barbecue out there. Franklin at the lake. Franklin at the lakefront. Hogs for the cause going down. Pretty good weather coming your way. Not Sunday, but tomorrow, kind of a rinse and repeat of what we've had the last few days. Monday and Tuesday, 50s and 60s. And then next Wednesday through next Sunday at least, really nice, sunny. 60s and 70s and sunny. You can knock out those paint projects in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge. When it's time to paint, don't go to the big box store. Don't go to some national chain store. You go to the local guys in New Orleans for over 55 years, Helm Paint and Decorating, and now going on nearly 2 years in Baton Rouge. Yeah, Joey Helm, the Helm family, 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations in Baton Rouge because they're New Orleans folks. They're South Louisiana folks, the Helm family. They care. Like I said, 55 plus years steering us right in New Orleans and now in Baton Rouge. And free 2-hour delivery of those high-quality Benjamin Moore paints. When it's time to paint in Metro New Orleans or Metro Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating. I've probably been going to Helm Paint and Decorating, I'm not kidding you, 30-plus years. 30-plus years ago, got some paint and been going ever since. Painted my entire house, so I had a crew come in and paint it. Okay, here's the color. Go to Helm. They've got everything there. They went to the drive-through on Earhart, and they loaded up the 5-gallon buckets of primer, of paint. Benjamin Moore. I got Regal Select, which has a lifetime guarantee. I'll never, ever have to paint my house again. But because it's Regal Select, Benjamin Moore lifetime guarantee, if I want to change the color in 5 or 10 years, I can because it's affordable. No, I talk the talk and I walk the walk. Every single advertiser, client, someone that's, that I'm talking about that runs radio, TV spots about their business on this program, I am 110% behind them. I believe in what they do. Otherwise, they would not be here. There's a reason I don't have the obnoxious television lawyers on the program. There's a reason I don't have the gambling sites on the program. This is sort of bums me out when I think about it. The amount of money annually that I've given up the last few years with these lawyers that have popped into Metro New Orleans. I could have a permanent lawyer presence where I would be getting X amount of money every month. And if I chose to do live endorsements, even more money. And gambling. I don't gamble and I don't bet. So I'm going to hype a betting website. You could have done that for a lot of money, like obnoxious amount of money, like $1,000 plus a month. So you do the math. 12, 15, 20 grand a year I'm giving up not by hyping a gambling site. I just don't believe in that stuff. But when I talk about clients, customers, advertisers on this show, especially the live endorsements, I talk the talk, I walk the walk. Helm Painting Decorating, I painted my house with them. I've been going to them for 30 years. I'm at Lebanon's Cafe once or twice a week. Trey Yen once a week. And they're on the North Shore. I'm on the South Shore. I'm still beelining to Trey Yen. Now I can go on and on and on. Total maintenance, installed a whole new AC system in my house. Audubon gutters on my house. I mean, all the best at what they do, highest quality, number one in the area, the region, the metro. No, I'm blessed. Honestly, been doing this for like 30 plus years, have, 15, 18, 20 advertisers, clients that believe in the program, that are getting great results from you and stick with me year in, year out. Young's Dry Cleaning's been with me since like the late 90s, literally. Buddy Sanji is a sports talk guy in Baton Rouge. I started in sports talk. Buddy had already been on the air a few years. I started in the early 90s. Sports talk started like in the late 80s. Baton Rouge had one of the first sports talk 24-hour stations in the state, maybe the first. New Orleans didn't even have that for like another year. Buddy Sanji, I saw him on Cox. I landed on his show, Tiger Roar or something. And Buddy's hyping Man Defined Meats. Buddy was hyping Man Defined Meats back in the early 90s. So I started promoting Young's Dry Cleaning late 90s. I say with confidence, in the talk radio, talk TV business in the United States of America, it's one of the longest relationships. An on-air personality talking about a particular client, it's as long as any relationship in the country. And then I see Buddy, and he's been doing it probably 10 years longer, since late 80s, early 90s, Man Defined Meat, where flavor says it all. So there's not too many folks like Buddy hyping Man Defined Meats for 35 years. And I've been promoting Young's for almost 30 years, 25 plus years for sure, 26, 27 years promoting Young's. No, from sports talk days, pre-Katrina. No, I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. I work hard. I prepare. I do all that. I come ready to roll, tell it like it is. But no, these clients that are the best at what they do, easy to promote the best at what they do. Easy to promote number one. Easy to promote a company that's been around for decades and decades and is consistent, and everybody loves them. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you're right. The weekend's upon us. Corey Johnson with you. Cloudy out there. Temperatures in the 80s. Windy. I don't think any rain until Sunday. Then temperatures drop, and then 60s and 70s after that, including next week's French Quarter Fest, crank it up on Thursday. Hey, I mentioned Young's Dry Cleaning. Do you still deal with a dry cleaner that you don't like, always bumming you out, disappointing you? Buttons not on the shirt, collar's not right? Go to the best, a New Orleans institution for 85 years, since 1940, youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Trey Yen kicks some ass. I was there earlier in the week on the North Shore. Trey Yen's so good. If you go with a group, get the honey pecan shrimp entree as an appetizer. Plump, local shrimp with this sweet honey glaze and these pecans, these candied pecans. Just what a great dish. Something you'll find nowhere else. It's just an incredible New Orleans shrimp dish. Honey pecan shrimp entree at Trey Yen. If it's 3-4 people or more, get the entree as an appetizer. Fantastic. Trey Yen in Mandeville, so damn good. Chinese cuisine, not Chinese food. Great news for French Quarter Fest. This Thursday through Sunday, it looks sunny. Looks like 70s every day. Looks like it could be a record crowd for French Quarter Fest, which is great. Huge economic, engine. Hundreds of millions of dollars in economic impact for the city. Those 4 days. The French Quarter, the CBD, the Warehouse District, Tremé, Bywater, Marigny, all getting a little pop. All the bars, all the restaurants, all the shops. Fantastic. Now, it was the Marc Morial administration. It was way back in the early 80s. They had redone the sidewalks in the French Quarter. And the French Quarter was a mess when they were redoing the sidewalks, and it basically kept locals away. Businesses suffered during that. A way to stimulate getting locals back to the French Quarter was French Quarter Fest. They didn't realize that, boy, this thing's going to be an annual event. Now it's 40 plus years later, and it's one of the biggest free festivals in the United States, maybe the biggest. The crowds over the 4 days are ridiculous. Like north of 100,000 folks every single day. Every single day. They're doing like 650, 700,000 folks. They're doing what the Pelicans do all season long. They're doing what the Saints do all 10 games at the Dome in 4 days. French Quarter Fest this Thursday. 22 stages this Thursday through Sunday, day 1 of 4 on Thursday. 22 stages, 300 acts. It's all cashless. Bring your credit card, your debit card, digital on the phone, payment through the phone. That's it. No cash. No cash. I planted an oak tree in my front yard about 5 years ago. 5 years ago. At most. And that oak tree was about 5.5, 6 feet tall. Now that oak tree is about 30 feet tall. It's 25 feet across. It towers about, I'd say a good third of it is above the gutter line, above the roof line of my house. So in October, when Audubon Gutters came and installed gutters on my house, and they told me about the leaf guard system, I definitely added that feature. I'll never have to pay someone to get on a ladder and clean my gutters, clean those oak tree leaves out of my gutters ever. Drew and his crew, family owned and operated for nearly 35 years. The Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company. All they do is gutters. Home or business, Metro New Orleans, no brainer. AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you're right. Historic decision today. A jury in Plaquemine Parish ordered Chevron to pay the parish over $745 million, $750 million for one restoration project in Plaquemine. We'll see what this means over the next few weeks. That's Blue Boy saying have a great weekend. Get out tomorrow night, Sunday expecting some rain. Then some nice cool temperatures on Monday and Tuesday, like 50s and 60s. I'll see you Monday. Straight up 4 o'clock. Be there, be here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.
Blue Boy.
Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.
Good boy. Good boy.